Oh, under the lights, man. Is there nothing more exciting when a kid's like, okay, we're going to be playing under the lights tonight? Like something, they've jumped class, right? Because kids in sports, I mean, there's nothing better than having some fun and seeing a kid excel and cheering your kid on. I'm a big aunt cheerer honor for all my nephews and nieces, and they're getting bigger now. I miss my cheering. I was a very exciting athlete myself, and I love sports, and so I'm kind of in awe of how big the industry has become, in particular youth sports. So welcome to the Debbie Nigro Show. Today, as part of the Elite to the Street, always bringing you cool personalities, you're going to meet David Shapiro. He's the Chief Executive Officer of Stanfill Sports, and they're kind of rolling. They're becoming the national leader in youth sports, and it's all about teaching kids not only great sport ethics, but it's more than a game. Okay, sports is about kids experiencing and getting their lives enriched by people around them, learning class, positive and fun way to approach the game, and getting their values straightened out there. Discipline, teamwork, safety, and of course respect. And my favorite, integrity. There you go. So Stanfill Sports. Hello there, Mr. Shapiro. Welcome to my show.
Hi, Debbie. Great to be on with you and talk with all your listeners here.
Thank you. So tell me about where you guys are going these days. And we're going to talk about your new advisory board ads. I think that's very exciting. But tell me about, for anybody who doesn't know the name Stanfill Sports, why they should know your name.
Yeah, so Stanfill Sports is a social impact business that's focused on improving the youth sports sector. Youth sports has become a very big industry. I think one of the largest industries in terms of participation that kids are involved with. And it's been changing drastically over the last 10 to 15 years, really going from a volunteer-based industry to more of a professional industry as parents look for a better experience for their kids.
Okay, so stop there.
Stanfill Sports.
Stop there. It changed over the last 10 to 15 years. And can you spend another second on why that's the differentiator? What's so different now? Just give me a couple more seconds on that.
Yeah, I think the key thing that's really changed here is that sports in the past used to have a lot of sandlot play, I think is a term that's been used, which is when kids can just go out to a field and play sports with their friends and develop in that sport that way.
Right.
As parents have gotten more involved in sports, there's been good and bad. I think sandlot play has been eliminated for the most part, and now kids are only playing when there's an organized event, there's coaches, there's referees or officials on the field. And so it's just become a lot more professionalized. And although there still are a lot of volunteer-run organizations, there's also this groundswell of more professional organizations that are offering youth sports programming because parents want something more.
Okay, got it. So are they camps? Are they how do you operate around the country? Explain that.
Yeah, so we're bringing together different youth sports businesses, and right now we have soccer and baseball, but we're looking at other sports to expand into. And essentially what our goal is to offer a premium youth sports experience where kids are going to develop the great life lessons that come from sports and stick with their sport and not drop out. And so there's a couple key things that we're trying to do as we bring different portfolio companies under Stanfill Sports. One is shared resources. We want to be able to offer the very best marketing, branding, finance support for a lot of these small businesses that are in youth sports that don't have the opportunity to bring the experts in.
Okay, so
the second piece is so there's three things I'll just go over real quickly. The second piece is coaching curriculum. We've developed our own internal coaching system with West Virginia University, and we're working with Positive Coaching Alliance as well, so that we make sure we have the very best coaches on the field in our portfolio companies. And then the third piece is operational excellence, making sure that these companies are operating efficiently so that they can offer the best programming.
Okay, so for example, National Youth Baseball Championships. Is that something you're doing?
Yeah, so we took over the National Youth Baseball Championship from Eddie Einhorn's group. Eddie Einhorn unfortunately passed recently. He was one of the owners of the Chicago White Sox, and about 9 years ago, he had the vision to create a national championship that was inclusive for all youth baseball across the country. Everybody on the show probably has heard of the Little League World Series, which is a great organization and is on ESPN every year with their national tournament. Little League is only about 25% of the youth baseball participation. 75% is in other organizations that are out there. There's about 50 other national organizations that offer youth baseball. So the National Youth Baseball Championship was to target all those other organizations, the 75% of kids playing, and to give them an opportunity to play on a similar platform. There's 12 games that are televised on CBS Sports Network on national TV.
Wow.
And then also streamed on MLB.com.
Okay, so what is the National Youth Baseball Champ? What age are we talking about?
So it's everything from 14 down to 9 years old. The TV games are predominantly 12, 13, and 14-year-old kids.
Okay, so they're really stepping up here. And these kids, we're the technology age, and everything's just going up another level. Why not this? I thought it was kind of interesting who you've brought on board as advisors: Tommy Lasorda, Dusty Baker, Bobby Valentine, Julie Foudy, Nancy Lieberman, Jim Thompson, Frank Catalano. I mean, really? Fabulous.
Yeah, we've got an incredible group of people that all really want to give back to the game that gave so much to them. And so they've seen the changes in youth sports through their own children and their friends' children, and so they wanted to be a part of something that was improving the youth sports experience. And so they've all come on and are helping us in a number of ways, from helping us with acquisitions that we're looking at, helping us activate sponsors that are involved in our portfolio companies, and then also offering up content. So they've each done exclusive interviews with us about their views on youth sports that we've been able to share with thousands of youth sports parents and coaches across the country. We were speaking about the National Youth Baseball Championship a second ago. At that event last July, Tommy Lasorda, Dusty Baker, and Bobby Valentine all spent a full week at the event where they're interacting with parents and kids, signing autographs, giving talks to parents about how they can improve the experience. And so they've really been accessible to all the families that are involved in Steel Sports.
Dumb question. Sports is not only good to build character, but also to keep kids healthy and keep their health and weight in check by moving around. Are you seeing any trend in the kids who play sports in terms of their wellness versus the kids who don't?
Yes, certainly. So I think it is a scary epidemic in the United States, the obesity trends that have been going on. And there's a direct correlation. If kids play sports for a certain number of years, that they're going to live a healthy lifestyle throughout, because it becomes a habit of theirs to eat well and exercise, because that's what you have to do to be a good athlete. So if they play into their high school age, there's a much better chance that, first of all, they're going to be exercising a lot when they're a kid, and so they're not going to be obese as a child, but then also as they grow up, they're going to keep those same lifestyle habits.
I like that you're giving equal love and attention to the girls who play sports with your mission, Steel Sports. You want to speak to that?
Yeah, certainly. Girls' sports is so important, and I think now you're seeing almost equal participation in youth sports with girls and boys, which, again, 30 years ago, that certainly was not the case.
Right.
The professional game is still catching up, but, we're a believer in that, too, because that gives young girls a role model in youth sports, that they've got female athletes that they can aspire to be. And that was one of the reasons we tied in Julie Foudy and Nancy Lieberman into our board. Those are two females that have had an incredible impact on the sports that they play. Nancy was really a trailblazer. She actually played in the NBA she was the first female to participate at that level. She's one of only two female coaches in the NBA. She's a coach for the Sacramento Kings. The only other female coach is with the San Antonio Spurs. And then Julie Foudy, many people know her name. She won several Olympic golds and then also World Cups as a member of the women's national team in the U.S. And now she's one of the most prominent sportscasters, as she has a role with ESPN.
Okay, this is very interesting. And from a business perspective, okay, you're looking for strategic partnerships all over the country. So talk about that, because somebody listening might understand that they can do better by aligning with you. I'm picking up on that vibe.
Yeah, so we're in the business of offering youth sports programming. So the way that looks for us is it's anything from facilities to youth sports organizations to camps and clinics to organizations that offer lessons. And so we're developing partnerships and in some cases acquiring companies that have scale in each of those areas.
So you can come into a market and see somebody doing something kind of good. Say, look, we've got some money and some resources to help you do it better. Let's become partners and we'll back you up. Is that kind of where it's going?
That's exactly right. We're looking for strong operators in the youth sports segment and trying to help them be even better. So if they've done a great job operating programs in northern New Jersey, we want to be able to give them the expertise and the resources to expand that to Connecticut and Massachusetts,
that's
cool. Around them.
That's great to know. And what about camps, like summer camps and sports camps, things like that? Does that fit in your sweet spot?
One of our portfolio companies, UK Elite, which has a very strong presence in your area in New Jersey, Connecticut, New York, Massachusetts, they offer 700 summer camps each summer. And these are youth soccer camps for anything from athletes ages 4 up through 18 years old. And so they're one of the largest youth sports largest youth soccer companies in the United States. We have about 300 full-time coaches, which predominantly right now come over from the UK and are coaching youth soccer. In addition to those 700 summer camps, they offer club programs. They offer a program called UK Petite, which is for athletes ages 3 and 4. They offer 25 large-scale tournaments, so they're doing everything in youth soccer on the East Coast.
And then I'm thinking about, when kids get home from school and there's those weeks that parents sign them up for like week-long camps, sports camps to fill in the gaps while they're going to work. Are you doing anything in that sector?
For youth baseball and youth soccer, yes. So UK Elite offers residential camps and then also day camps. And if you go to ukelite.com, you could see all the different camp sessions in the different regions. And then at Baseball Heaven, which is the facility that we own on Long Island, it's a 30-acre baseball complex. We offer about 6 weeks of summer baseball camp there also.
Baseball Heaven. That's a lovely name. Did you name that?
I did not name it, but when I went and visited, it was the perfect name for the facility because you really do feel like you're in baseball heaven there. It's 7 all-turf fields, a 15,000 square foot indoor facility. We have about 800,000 people that pass through the facility every year, and it really, you feel like you're just in baseball heaven when you walk through the gates there.
Can you build a camp for like older women to go to and have fun like this as your next? Could you look into that?
We definitely can. I like the idea.
My gosh, what fun we could have. So, okay, Stanfill Sports, this has been a wonderful, enlightening interview. And thank you, Mr. Shapiro. I appreciate your time because I do think there are some people listening who could, be your partners in this area who might not know that there's a resource to hook up together and maybe somebody who wants to, it's always about how do you grow. And sometimes people don't know where the matches are, and I'm kind of good at trying to match everybody up, David Shapiro. So thanks for being on the show today, and have a beautiful weekend.
Yep. Thanks so much, Debbie. Great talking with you.
Thank you. SteelSports.com. It's steel-sports.com if you want to find more about David Shapiro and Stanfill Sports and what they're doing in sports training, education, entertainment, and lifestyle. Come on back for the Daily Toast, guys. We're going to wrap it up.